Welcome you in here to Paul McGinley Field, San Antonio, Texas, on the campus of Trinity University for this afternoon's SCAC matchup between the Tigers, coming in number 21 in the nation, and the University of Dallas Crusaders. It's a rematch of last year's SCAC championship game, which Trinity took 4-0. Get first through the starting 11 for the University of Dallas Crusaders, led by head coach Lexi Stinson. In goal, number 8, Caitlin Vess. Number 3, Alyssa Minkachi. Number 9, Claire Reed. 10, Maylin Lee, the reigning SCAC Defensive Player of the Year. 14, Avery Seaman. 15, Maddie Rodriguez. 19, Andrea Copi. 22, Caitlin Klein. 24, Michelle McIntyre. 27, Brittany Zapata. Rounding out the 11, senior defender Becca Gonzalez. For Coach Dylan Harrison and the Trinity Tigers, same starting 11. I got off to a great start to the weekend on Friday against Austin College. Joey Finley in between the sticks. Back three of Ashlyn Zingelman, Bailey Meyer, and Reese Wallace. Midfield 5, Kira Stafford, Cameron Beal, Cece Hendricks, Madison Horner, and Alex Walsh. And those two on your screen now. Molly Sheridan and Katie Ward lead the line. Sheridan with a hat trick in the first half on Friday. Katie Ward with a hat trick of assists, celebrating senior day. Still Friends and Family Weekend here, as a lot of the Tiger players' families flying in to enjoy what they hope will be a pair of victories. The Crusaders will have something else in mind as they look for revenge for that SCAC final defeat in Seguin in the spring. Both teams now take formation on the field, which is in a little bit better shape than it was Friday night after the showers put it into a muddy state. And it's a beautiful afternoon for some SCAC soccer. We are underway as the ball is rolling here in San Antonio. Rodriguez lays this one back. And the pass intended for Seaman, cut out by Walsh. Walsh now on the charge, lays it wide for Stafford. Kira Stafford, beyond her defender, gets to the end line, cuts the ball back. First clearance is missed. And Trinity keep it alive now with Beal. Shot from the top of the box, just over the bar. Lively start for Trinity, opening 30 seconds, already threatening the Crusader goal. They got off to a hot start in that SCAC championship game with Katie Ward striking in the opening few minutes the 7th fastest goal in tournament history. That was in the 4th minute. Sheridan scored in the 6th to put the result beyond doubt, and the rest was akin to a celebration for Trinity, finishing off their undefeated 10-0 season last year. Ranked number 1 in the country out of all those who played. For Dallas, it was also a success, their second ever SCAC championship game, both of which have ended up with defeat to Trinity. But for Coach Lexi Stinson in her 5th season, furthest the team have gone, something definitely to build on this year. And they have 7-3, 2-0 in conference play. As Beal works it down the right side. Goes off the shoulder of Katie Ward, so Trinity will keep possession. Hendricks caught on it. Minkachi able to find a teammate. And Madison Horner commits the foul for Trinity. Player to watch for Dallas, number 10, Maylin Lee, senior out of Katy, Texas. Been a regular in the All-SCAC Awards and was honored as the Defensive Player of the Year after last season. Playing as the left back today, and she makes the interception here ahead of Molly Sheridan. Ball forward. Will be chased by Zapata. Tracked down by Meyer. And looks like maybe a long throw set up here for the Crusaders as Lindley is up from the back. 3 targets ahead of her. Fakes back. Launches it towards the penalty area. Cross blocked. And the follow-up shot blocked as well by Beal. And Katie Ward finds the loose ball now with space ahead of her. Put under pressure by Minkachi. Will drop it back for Meyer. 2-time Defensive Player of the Week this season. Got to be on the short list for that Defensive Player of the Year award this year. The junior out of Southlake. Walsh looks to get on the turn. Up a dead end as ball runs out of play. Throw in taken quickly by Dallas, who are looking to play out of the back here. They've run into trouble with Walsh, who pokes it down the line for Sheridan. Being to it by Lynn Lee. Goal kick coming. Trinity threatening in the opening 30 seconds. Dallas now settling in. So they go short again here from the goal kick. Zapata tries to hold it up and is able to win a throw. Singleman will retreat for Trinity. McIntyre with the throw for Seaman. It's on a dribble now, down the line, puts it in behind, and Finley's called into action. Good sweeper keeper play for Joey Finley. Sophomore out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Wasn't in goal, it was Lauren Bolish for the SCAC championship last season. She's been very much the go-to starter this year, all but a couple games. Played the first half on Friday. For first year, Lauren Lewis stepped in for the second 45. Good play here from Dallas as they break through the Trinity midfield. And the ball in behind. Bailey Meyer has the head start and lays it back for Finley, who's able to clear. Beal onto it in midfield, takes it past the halfway line, runs into trouble. Dallas looking for the ball in behind from Minkachi. Cut out by the imperious Trinity back line. Ashlyn Zingelman, the transfer this season from the University of North Texas. Looks like the flag may go up here, and it will, for Sheridan. Tried to just run across the line, but left early. Zingelman onto it with the header. Down the line for Stafford. Hooks it towards Sheridan, who can't connect that time. And again, Minkachi chases it down the line. It's an errant ball off the right foot of Zingelman. Still time for Finley to clean it up and send it clear. Walsh shielding here with her back to goal. Forces the mistake. It's out for a Trinity throw just on their own side. Very positive first 7 minutes of the game for the Crusaders. Visiting teams here have really struggled to find any possession or to threaten the Trinity goal. And so far, Dallas looking accomplished, finding a teammate, showing energy defensively as well. And there's been a lot more to do for the Trinity back line. We've already had their warning shot this year, the defeat at Southwestern last weekend. Hendricks draws the foul. And Stafford tripped up by Seaman. Zingelman with the ball all the way through. Caitlin Vest started every game this season except for one, the loss to Concordia. Has only conceded 5 and kept 7 shutouts. She's been the premier goalkeeper in the SCAC so far this year. Called into action once again as she's there ahead of Molly Sheridan. Highest save percentage and lowest goals against average. That puts you on pace for a first team conference selection. Toughest test though so far will be today's game. Trinity already a couple shots towards goal, nothing on target just yet. As Beal onto it in midfield. Rolls it forward for Ward. Holds it up and returns it to Cameron Beal. Hendricks spreads the play wide for Horner, who saw a lot of the ball in the first half on Friday. The wingers for Trinity very effective, as the Tigers always focus on scoring from crosses. It was particularly evident in that matchup with Austin College. Katie Ward with 3 almost identical assists, cutting the ball back from the end line. Here she is on the ball. Lays it off for Beal. Wide for Horner. Isolates Lindley defensively. Gets to the end line. The sliding cross behind for a goal kick. Meyer wins the header. Perfectly placed for Katie Ward. It's 1v2 here. She splits the double team looking for Sheridan. Beal will go for goal. And it's off the bar down. Referee says it hasn't crossed the line. We'll have to examine the replay to see. What a strike for Cameron Beal. By the trajectory, it's going to be close, and we have the perfect view from inside the frame. So you can see, good call for the official on an almost inch-perfect strike for Cameron Beal. Scored from distance already this season. That one coming in the non-conference action earlier on. Zingelman lines this one up. 5 Trinity Tigers waiting just inside the penalty area. Good shape on the ball towards the edge of the D. Tracked down by Katie Ward. Got 2 defenders all over her. And she's forced back to Wallace. Good split pass from Wallace. Finds Horner in space. The cutback ball comes to Walsh at the top of the box. Couldn't control it. And Dallas play themselves into trouble as Zingelman's up from the back to make the interception. Walsh regains possession for the Tigers, finds Ward in space. Ward 1v1 with Rodriguez, dumps it wide for Horner. Once again, she'll have to track this one down as the pass took her wide. Beal helps it on. Behind for a goal kick. Still nothing on target for Trinity. Crusaders go short here. Down the line looking for Minkachi. Zapata appealing for the foul. Nothing coming from the official. Ward lays it off for Beal. Keeps it ticking along with Wallace. Direct ball looking for Sheridan. That'll bounce all the way through for Caitlin Vess. Walsh lays it back for Hendricks. Space wide here for Sheridan. Zingelman goes direct, looking for Sheridan, who'd posted up on the edge of the area. Hendricks onto it. Gets it wide. Sheridan's cross not cleared, and Walsh couldn't return it to the sophomore. Another goal kick on the way. Already mentioned the SCAC championship matchup between these teams last season. Regular season game took place on campus of the University of Dallas. Trinity winning that one just 1-0 in overtime as Katie Ward found the winner after the 90 minutes. Very clear advantage in shots and shots on target for Trinity in that one, but it took all the way until OT. And so far, Dallas holding resolute at the back once again. Lindley will come up from the back to take this throw again. '56th career appearance, all of them starts for Lindley. Wasn't on the same page as her teammate there, and now Trinity can run at the back line with Alex Walsh. Alex Walsh commits to the defender, pokes it in behind for Ward. Too much on it. Zapata loses out to Horner in the challenge. Ward wants to lay it back for Walsh. Those two not quite connecting so far this afternoon. Still plenty of time. And for Coach Harrison, obviously plenty of options on the bench, including Michaela Bosco, now up to 5 goals and 5 assists in her appearances from the bench this year. The starting front line now both in double-digit figures for goals. 10 apiece for Ward and Sheridan. They'll be the targets here as Horner swings it in, but it's Stafford that tracks it down at the back post. Stafford, cut back ball, looking for Ward. Cleared away, only as far as Hendricks, 25 from goal. Sheridan lays it off, and Walsh gets under it on the left-footed strike. Katie Ward 1 assist away from double digits in both categories. Sheridan also on 8 assists. Those are the two conference leaders. Second straight year that they've both managed double digits. Even more impressive last season in the abbreviated 10-game schedule. Now played 12 this year, the 10-1-1 record. And it's even a short season based on having just 14 regular season games. And then the game against UTSA to close it out next Sunday. That's obviously a Division I opponent, won't go on the record, but will be a big test for the Tigers ahead of the SCAC tournament, which will be held at the University of Dallas, and then presumably an NCAA tournament run to follow. Stafford, left-footed ball in, finds Katie Ward in top of the box, gets under it. Hasn't found her shooting boots this weekend. Had a few chances on Friday, but was more effective in finding a teammate. Really good chance there for Katie Ward to find goal number 11 on the year. Good turn from Minkachi. Ball forward from Claire Reed. That one may hold up ahead of Joey Finley. I think it's Wallace in the end who gets the touch clear. As the wind plays its part on that one, Kopi in pursuit, and Dallas encouraged by what they see on that attack. And a throw-in coming for Maylin Lee. McIntyre gets it down the line. And another throw coming for the Crusaders. Zapata lays it back for McIntyre. They run out of room on the far side. Looks like Lynn Lee's now switched over to the right side. It's matched up wherever Katie Ward goes. The offensive player of the year and the defensive player of the year from last season. Toe-to-toe. Sheridan's the one causing problems now. Let's Seaman tracking back, able to make the clearance. Here is Seaman down the line now. Looking for Zapata, who loses out to Bailey Meyer. Drops it off for Finley. Walsh commits the foul there after the touch was heavy. Free kick coming for the University of Dallas. Trinity conceding 2 free kicks in their defeat against Southwestern a week ago today. That one had a swirling wind behind it. There's a light breeze here today, nothing that would really affect the shot. If anything, the Crusaders are kicking into the wind. And this one likely too far out for a shot. It's just about 40 yards from goal. But plenty of teammates to aim at. Camped out at the edge of the Trinity penalty area. It's lifted towards the back post. Really good ball. Kopi rose the highest, trying to get ahead on it, just over her head. Good service from Becca Gonzalez, the senior from Reno, Nevada. Zingelman caught there as the assistant referee makes the call. 20 minutes in. Chances at both ends and still no score. Zingelman looking for Hendricks from the free kick. Runs into Minkachi. And Zapata is onto it here. It's wide with Kopi. Errant ball back, puts an end to the attack and provides Trinity a chance to counter. It's Katie Ward all on her own right now. She's got Walsh now to the right. Decides to go alone and wins the corner. Trinity scoring off a corner in the first half on Friday. It was Stafford to Sheridan on that occasion, tucked in at the near post. See what Stafford can offer up here. Ball into the danger area. It comes off the head of Hendricks. Can't turn it goalward. It's tracked down by Katie Ward here on the near side. Lindley pokes it clear. Walsh is onto it, lays it across the top of the box. And the Crusaders get it clear. Hendricks can't find Sheridan. Coach Harrison's first change. Getting ready. It'll be Isabel Mikulski. Scored her first Trinity goal on Friday in a really strong outing. Meyer first to it down the line. Puts it out for a Dallas throw. Throw controlled by Reed. On the turn, sends it skyward. Minkachi can't bring it down. Hendricks pass intercepted by Seaman. Here's Lynn Lee now on the charge from the back. McIntyre's pass intercepted by Beal. Chance for Trinity if they go quickly. Hendricks wide for Stafford. The forwards will make their runs here. As the pass just behind Molly Sheridan. Lindley not falling for the fake there and winning a throw. So Mikulski will wait. Has to wait for a goal kick or a Trinity throw. Zingelman applies the pressure here. Ward will keep it going high up the field as Lindley launches it down the line. It's a good ball, and it's a foot race between Zapata and Meyer. Bailey Meyer up to the task. And we'll get it back here from Reese Wallace. Stafford looking to turn. Got it back from Minkachi. Went to ground there on the sliding tackle. And Sheridan now in behind for Katie Ward. The flag goes up. It was a close call. We'll see. Tough to tell from the angle. Looks like it was Caitlin Klein who was able to pull the offside trap just in time. Matter of inches. Lindley into midfield here. Switches the play. McIntyre's got space. Couldn't find a teammate. Walsh is onto it. Horner looking for Sheridan. Ended up closer to Katie Ward, but Dallas back on it. Last touch off Cameron Beal, and finally the subs will come into the game. For Dallas, it's Monica O'Donnell, senior from Lincoln, Nebraska. And for Trinity, it's Isabel Mikulski on for Madison Horner on the right. McIntyre with the throw, looking for the substitute O'Donnell. Bounces over her head, and Trinity onto it. Sheridan connects now with Mikulski, fresh off the bench. Mikulski looking for space to get the cross away, and she finds it. Defended at the near post by Klein. O'Donnell shielded off the ball by Wallace. Hendricks put under pressure, can't connect with Stafford. Gambled there on the interception, and now it's Beal that's going to have to come across to do the defensive work. Can't stop it from reaching Claire Reed. And it's wide now with Minkachi. Seaman down the line for Zapata. Zapata able to get the cross away. Couldn't keep it on the field of play. It's behind for a goal kick. Finley's goal kick intercepted by Minkachi. Beals onto the loose ball. Wallace with a smart ball to switch the play. Stafford on it now. Down the line for Ward. Cameron Beal, who struck the crossbar. Closest either team has come, and now Sheridan looking to do one better, but her shot saved by Caitlin Vess. Sheridan, who fired that shot moments ago, had 15, 8 on target, 2 in the back of the net against the Crusaders in the SCAC championship game. Hasn't had anywhere near that volume of shots today, as the Crusaders have had a lot more possession still looking to turn that into opportunities. But a lot of times possession thought of as an offensive stat. Sometimes it's a defensive stat. When you have the ball, the other team can't attack your goal. Sometimes it's as simple as that. And that's been the plan so far for the Crusaders, nullifying Trinity's potent attack by keeping the ball in the Trinity half. Everett's onto the field for Trinity. Replacing Kira Stafford. Olivia Gritza on the field for the Crusaders, replacing Zapata, who did a lot of hard running, leading the line. Wide here for Mikulski. Gets there in time to keep it in play. Square ball for Beal. Looks like it's pushed Claire Reed up to the target striker position for Dallas as Lindley catches Everett's late here. You see the replay of the foul. Lindley eyes on the ball, but definitely late. Coach Harrison asking for a yellow card against the reigning SCAC Defensive Player of the Year. He's kept Katie Ward quiet so far. She waits in the penalty area here as Sheridan is down the right, running a corner kick. And Mikulski will take. A few really good services in for the sophomore on Friday. His minutes have continued to increase over the course of this season. Here's the ball into the danger area. Katie Ward rises highest and nods it towards goal, but just wide. Another clear-sighted goal for Katie Ward. Not too used to seeing her putting her head on the ball. Usually the likes of Hendricks, Beal, Zingelman, who are the targets on the corners. Looked like an accomplished header there, just wide of target. See the replay. Katie Ward still looking for a goal this weekend. It's pretty rare that she goes without scoring over the course of 2 games. Be the first time this season. Still, though, 58 minutes to go. Coach Harrison, just 2 subs so far here in the first half. He's stuck with his starters. Trying to find the opening goal. Hendricks, ball in for Sheridan, wide for Mikulski. Runners in the penalty area. That's Mikulski's first touch. Lets her down. And the sliding tackle from behind. Penalized. Seaman caught in possession by Beal. Rolled forward for Sheridan. Sheridan looking to connect with Katie Ward. Can't do so that time. Heavy touch this time for Everts. She's strong on the ball and keeps it. More changes coming for Trinity as Beal's battling for it up against O'Donnell. Zingelman there ahead of Claire Reed. Regains possession for the Tigers. Wallace fires it towards Walsh, who thought it was meant potentially for Sheridan. Left it for the Crusaders to clear. Beal rises highest. Walsh towards Sheridan, who helps it on. Katie Ward in pursuit. Caitlin Vess off the line. Everett steps inside to win the header. Now she's back wide, receiving it from Alex Walsh. An impromptu 1-2 there, as Walsh got a foot to it. Zingelman looks to go direct. Sheridan brings it out of the sky with her first touch. Runs into Caitlin Klein. Good spell of possession here for Trinity. Just looking to create something that can lead to the opening goal. Wide here with Katie Ward, who's got space. Got Sheridan 1v1 in the penalty area. Can't get past Klein, who stood up tall in the challenge. Hendricks onto it. In behind now for Molly Sheridan, who fires the shot. The sliding block took the sting out of the effort. And Caitlin Vess able to pick it up, no problem. Everts looking to do it all alone. She's won it back here. And lays it wide now for Sheridan. Lifted towards the back post for Katie Ward. Over the head of the defender, who needs help from the goalkeeper. And eventually it came, as Vess catches Katie Ward's shot. You can see here on the replay, Caitlin Klein is there. And it's also McIntyre who's shielding it and just waiting for the goalkeeper to come out. Eventually getting it done. Sheridan leaves that one behind Everts. Zingelman eventually gets it wide. Bouncing ball at the feet now of Alex Walsh for the cutback ball for Sheridan. Takes a bump from Lindley. Free kick coming in a dangerous position for Trinity, just outside the penalty area. And talking to for the Dallas captain. Had a couple of fouls now here in the first half. Mikulski and Katie Ward stand over this one. Wall needs to step back a few more paces, as pointed out by Alex Walsh. He's joining now. Waved away by Coach Harrison, so it'll be Mikulski or Ward. This is the type of area where you can put a cross in that ends up in the back post. Katie Ward steps over at Mikulski with the ball in. That's an excellent ball in. No one there at the back post. And the changes now coming. Bowers and Ferruzzi into center midfield for Cameron Beal and CC Hendricks. Livia Lee, the first-year midfielder from Katy, Texas, who I will assume is related to Maylin Lee, the senior defender from Katy, Texas. Into the game now for Dallas as well. And Rachel Rodriguez replaces Minkachi as the right midfielder. Ferruzzi scored her first goal of the season on Friday. She's regained possession here. Can't connect with the teammate in her first involvement. Off the bench. It's wide now for O'Donnell. O'Donnell tries to swing the cross in. And Meyer Sends it downfield. Wallace can only put it out for a throw. McIntyre down the line. O'Donnell brings it inside. Runs into Wallace. Looked like a potential handball there, not called against Cassie Bowers. Direct ball looking for Ward. Falls at the feet of Lindley, whose pass is intercepted by Walsh. Sheridan needs to stay on side here as Walsh is on the charge and couldn't connect with Molly Sheridan, the junior forward. Frustrating first half here for Trinity. Held scoreless. Just as they were over the 90 minutes when these two teams met in the regular season last year. Took a Katie Ward overtime winner to split the two teams. Katie Ward now waits in the penalty area. Has Sheridan. Let's go at her defender. Again, Caitlin Klein has been really solid. Puts it out for a throw. Changes now in the front line as Bosco and Del Preti will replace Ward and Sheridan. Mentioned earlier, 5 goals and 5 assists for Michaela Bosco, the first-year forward. All of those off the bench. Here she is, receives it from the throw. Lays it at the feet of Bowers. Bowers for Ferruzzi. Stings the palms of the goalkeeper, who slaps it aside. Everett whips the ball in. And Walsh, who's kept her place in the most advanced midfield rolls onto it here. Lays it across for Bosco. 3 defenders around it for Dallas, and it's pinballing around in the penalty area. Cleaned out by Everts, who's caught late. About 35 yards from goal. Here's a look at the chaos. Oh, this was the Ferruzzi shot moments ago. Good effort on target. Vess saw it in plenty of time. Coach Harrison encouraging a shot here, as he's noticed the keeper preferring to punch or slap it aside rather than try and catch it. It'll be Wallace or Zingelman. Zingelman has the strike from distance, and it's just over the bar. Got under it. If the intended course of action there was to try and force a save, unsuccessful, as Vest picks it up from behind the goal and sets up for the goal kick. 3:20 on the clock. Twelve shots, 4 on target for Trinity here in the first half. Just 1 shot for the University of Dallas. Well, they have had a lot more of the ball than visiting teams have this season coming to Paul McGinley Field. Haven't got it done in the final third. So far standing firm in their own defensive third, as Bowers can't get it down the line for Bosco. Lindley's throw headed forward by Everts. Ferruzzi able to find Walsh. He's tangled up with a couple of Crusaders. Gets a foot on the ball. And then splits the double team. What a run this is for Walsh. And eventually commits the foul against Livia Late. conversation between Walsh and the referee. As Lindley leads the charge for Dallas. Pokes one in behind. And no runners to match as Rodriguez was wide to the right. And Finley will pick it up. Rolls it out for Wallace. Ball looking for Del Preti, intercepted. And Meyer called for the foul. As you can see, she's got a bone to pick with the official on that call. And the Crusaders will set it up from the free kick. 6 forward in the penalty area. As Becca Gonzalez is up from the back. Claire Reed wide to the left as Gonzalez slides it down the line. Reed with the cutback ball towards the top of the box, intended for Gritza. Still not cleared here for Trinity as Mikulski gets a foot to it. And it popped up onto a Crusader arm. Well worked set piece there from the training ground. Probably see that one again, Crusaders fans. 30 seconds to go here in the first half, and Trinity held to a stalemate so far. High energy performance for Dallas in a rematch of last year's SCAC championship game. Program that's been improving all the time under Coach Lexi Stinson.
9, 8, 7, 6,
Trinity looking maybe for a buzzer beater here. 3 seconds on the clock. Del Preti down the line. She runs out of room, and that'll do it. For the first 45, 12 shots, 4 on target for Trinity, 1 shot for the Crusaders. And we are all even for the first time this season. Trinity not scoring in SCAC play in the first half. And we'll see what adjustments Coach Harrison and the team make in just about 15 minutes. You're watching Trinity Women's Soccer on the Tiger Network.
Conference action.
For a second straight Sunday, the Trinity Tigers locked in a battle in SCAC play. Held scoreless through the first 45 minutes. Last week they were up 1-0 before Southwestern struck twice to hand them the first defeat in conference play since 2008. So they'll be on alert as to what Dallas can offer up here in the second half. Looked an accomplished side defensively as well as in possession. Still yet to create much to threaten Joey Finley's goal. Two very similar sides take the field here in the second half. Only change for Dallas is Elise Valdez replacing Caitlin Klein. For Trinity, looks like very similar 11 to that which finished the half. Except for Hendricks and Beal coming back into midfield. Stafford on the left, Mikulski on the right. So just the one change actually as well from the starting 11. Mikulski in for Horner. Trinity offering up 12 shots, 4 on target in the first half. Forcing 4 saves out of Caitlin Vest, who's been the premier shot stopper in the conference so far this season. Leading the league in clean sheets with 7. Goals against average and save percentage as well. Only improved those numbers in the first half. Ball back rolling here for the second 45 at Paul McGinley Field. We'll see what adjustments, if any, Trinity make to find this opening goal. Drop back here to the substitute, Elise Valdez. It's a big loss as Caitlin Klein, who assuming we'll see again today, was excellent. Standing up to Katie Ward and Molly Sheridan through the first 45. Seaman checks back. McIntyre back on the right side. She switched pretty freely with Lynn Lee as the right back and the left back, just wherever Katie Ward is. The SCAC Defensive Player of the Year, May Lynn Lee, is followed. Stafford looks for the cutback cross, cleared away by Minkachi. Throw coming. Closest either team came was strike from Cameron Beal, which struck the crossbar. A couple of chances for Katie Ward just off target. Nothing too threatening for Dallas. They had a couple of set pieces. Got near Joey Finley's goal. Didn't force a save. Zapata putting the pressure there on Meyer, who puts it out for a throw. Kopi, Mikulski on her back, lays it back for Lindley. Tries to cut past Mikulski. But now trapped by 3 Tigers. And it's Issa Mikulski who comes away with it. Beal can't find Ward. And Seaman calm on the ball. Turns out of the pressure. McIntyre for Kopi, laid off and sent forward by Rodriguez. Zapata on the turn. Really good build up here for the Crusaders as it's laid across the top of the box, where Bailey Myers waiting to put an end to the attack. And now there's space on the counterattack if Trinity can go quickly. Sheridan in behind for Katie Ward. This one holds up just at the edge of the box. Katie Ward pokes it through. Wide a goal. Another chance. Another shot wide for Ward this weekend. That's how it's gone in front of goal. Really good run. Right idea with the finish. Just off the outside of the right foot. It was always rolling wide. Miss hit goal kick. And Walsh is onto it. Mikulski shields it out. Takes the throw quickly, looking for Ward. Settled with the first touch. Turns away from Kopi. And now gets it back from Mikulski. The double team there for Dallas forced Katie Ward to go back. And then they give a throw back to Trinity. Encouragement from Coach Stinson for her team as they've held the best attack in the SCAC so far to really half chances. Shots from outside the box. And then late beyond Mikulski. Poked forward. Now there's space for Claire Reed. And it's wide here for Seaman. He'll have the strike. And dipping down ends up as a comfortable save for Joey Finley. Well executed counter for the visitors. Sheridan helps it on towards Walsh. Settles it, plays it wide enough for Mikulski. Walsh making the run, slipped it in towards the edge of the area. Mikulski's back onto it, laid off for Meyer. And Claire Reed whistled for a foul against Beal. This one again, probably out of shooting range, although Coach Harrison encouraged Zingelman to have a go in the first half from a similar distance. Conversation here between Zingelman and Ward. We'll see what they've decided on. Shot or cross. Looks like it'll be Katie Ward. Steps over it now, leaves it for Zingelman. Shot on target. And a comfortable save for Vess, her 5th of the game. Wallace springs it out of the sky from the punt. Hendricks shields it in midfield, and Wallace's ball down the line. Put out for a throw. Down the line for Ward to chase. It's shielded by Lynn Lee. All the way out now for a Dallas throw. Kopi receives it here with 3 Trinity Tigers around. Managed to keep it. Couldn't find a teammate. Wallace with the header into midfield. Hendricks gets it back from Reed and is bumped from behind. And Beal looking to go quickly for Stafford. It's intercepted, but recovered by Sheridan. Beal back onto it. Katie Ward checks short. Stafford goes to the end line. Creates the space for the cross. It's sent in. And Hendricks has a shot from the top of the box. Now Ward with the header. Not much power in it. Another save for Vez. Pressure slowly building as Trinity coming closer to finding the opening goal. Off the head of Katie Ward, tracked down by Mikulski, poked away by Lindley. Dallas showing a lot more belief than most teams have coming here to Paul McGinley Field. Sometimes it feels like the visitors show up and the game is already won in terms of their mentality. But Dallas playing Trinity close at home last year, the 1-0 overtime win for the Tigers. And with revenge on the mind after losing in the SCAC championship game, 4-0. They've really brought it here. Holding firm so far. Threatening on the counterattack here in the second half as Sheridan looks to turn Valdez. And Sheridan tangled up with the arms, commits the foul. Valdez, the sophomore from Elotes, Texas, gets the applause from the bench. Hendricks holds the defender on her back, lays it off for Meyer. Goes to the right for Wallace. Pass cut out. And now Trinity will probe down the left side. Zingelman goes direct. On a bad ball, and Sheridan nearest to it as Vess picks it up on the second bounce. Hendricks volleys the goal kick back down the field. Ward puts it wide for Stafford. Gonzalez puts it out for a Trinity throw. 4 shots, 2 on target so far in the opening 10 minutes of the second half. One shot on the counterattack for Dallas as Hendricks tripped up, and this one definitely in shooting range. Coach Harrison makes the call for Katie Ward to step up. We'll see if she can produce a moment of magic. Find the necessary power to beat Vess from this range. It'll be tough. Based on her 4-year body of work, if anyone can do it out on the field today, it's going to be Katie Ward. The wall is set. Zingelman steps over it, and Katie Ward takes the strike, and it's just over the bar. It had the power. Couldn't keep it on frame. You see the wall cheating up just a little bit there. Ends up 6 inches or so over the bar. Goal kick, under hit. Kopi receives it, put immediately under pressure. Claire Reed does well to get it back for the Crusaders. And Zapata looking for Minkachi, can't connect. Trinity back on it in the center circle through Cameron Beal. Trinity switch it back over to the left side with Zingelman. Searching ball down the line. Katie Ward's on side. She's isolated 1v1 here with the defender. Top of the box now for Hendricks. And the strike blocked on its way through. A lot of power on the left-footed effort there for the senior midfielder as Myers whistled for the foul. Coach Harrison asking where the foul is, and it's right there. Meyer, second to it. Crusaders go quickly, rolling it out to Lynn Lee, who's forced to check back under pressure from Sheridan. Lynn Lee looking for the switch, didn't have enough power on it. Stafford intercepts. Katie Ward forward for Stafford, can't turn with it. But Hendricks has it back. Spreads the play wide here. Mikulski can keep it in. And last touch looked like off the Crusaders. The referee points for a goal kick. Very different feel from the 9-0 victory on Friday for Trinity over Austin College. Sheridan hit a first half hat trick Everton Ferruzzi made it 5-0 before the break. And we got to see plenty of the younger Trinity players in the second half. Schneider, Campbell, Bosco all on the score sheet. Still the starters out there now searching for the opening goal. As Sheridan's ball across was looking tasty, but no one on the end of it. Stafford sets the defender down, sends the low ball in. Claire Reed on the end of it. Puts it down the field for Dallas. Minkachi left on the ground as Beal won it back. Stafford can't find Ward. She lost her footing making the pass. Ball forward, too straight for Dallas, but Wallace put under pressure here by Kopi. Kopi battles well to win it back. Now there's space for Claire Reed down the left beyond Reese Wallace, who goes to ground to make the tackle. Forced into some emergency defending. First corner of the game coming for the Crusaders. Another well-worked counter. Looks like Lindley checking short. Claire Reed close to Trinity's goalkeeper, Joey Finley. Everybody else, 5 Dallas players on the edge of the penalty area. We saw a free kick off the training ground in the first half. We'll see what they have to offer up from the corner here. Ball sent in. Met by Cameron Beal at the near post, not cleared. And the follow-up shot from Seaman off target. Well defended for Trinity there. Under 30 minutes to go in the game. Finley loses her footing, making the goal kick there. Mikulski gets a foot on the ball, wins it back, and puts it down the line for Ward. Sheridan's waiting now in the penalty area. Katie Ward checks back. Gets to the end line, sends it in, looking for Beal. Cleared away, but there's space now for Mikulski. Plenty of targets to aim as it's sent towards the back post. And retrieved by Stafford. Laid off for Sheridan. Stafford stay onside? No. As the flag goes up. Promising chance for the Tigers. Couldn't turn it into a shot on target. Another goal kick. That leaves a little bit to be desired. Means Trinity's still threatening here. As Ward's called for a handball. No, rather, Dallas called for the handball. Free kick Trinity. Looked like it could have popped up on anybody's hand there. Singleman will offer the left-footed option. And a conversation partner for Katie Ward. They're still deciding what to do with this free kick as Katie Ward takes on the shot and he dips away from goal. Here's a look at the handball. Yeah, pretty clearly up onto the left arm of Maddie Rodriguez. Dallas on a 5-game winning streak after a up-and-down start to the season. Trinity starting their own winning streak up once again with the win on Friday after defeat last Sunday. Dallas will be up there with Southwestern and Trinity competing for the SCAC championship again this year. It's been 3 straight semifinal appearances for the Crusaders. And obviously last year's final, their second in program history. Mikulski gets the left-footed service in. Crusaders able to deal with it. Everybody was at the back post. Service won't reach them as Wallace tracks it down. Wallace will let that one roll out so that the subs can come in. Emily Hayes onto the left for Stafford, and Everett's onto the right for Mikulski. Wallace takes the throw, finds Walsh, 3 defenders around her. Never fazed by those numbers. She'll dribble through and lay it back to Bailey Meyer. Zingelman, an uncharacteristic mistake there with the pass. Gets it back to the Crusaders. Zapata is forced back to McIntyre. Hayes' first involvement here on the far side. She's locked in a battle with Seaman. And the referee's whistle means Trinity free kick coming. Like an honest fight there, maybe something we couldn't see. Trinity go quickly, looking for Ward. All the way through for Vez. 6 saves today for Caitlin Vez in 65 minutes of action. Nothing miraculous. She's been solid, which is in line with what we've seen all season. Gonzalez wins the header, sends it skyward. Sheridan tracks down the loose ball, can't connect with the teammate. And the ball in behind. Or Zapata. Great first touch there for Walsh. Hendricks not aware. It's caught on it by Minkaji, who limps away. Maybe pulled up slightly there. 2 subs coming for Dallas. We'll see if she's replaced. Kopi up to win the header. Zapata challenging, but Beals won it back. And there's space in front of Emily Hayes. Pair of goals and pair of assists this season for Hayes. She got credited with an assist for a fantastic ball through on Friday night. Finished off by Bosco. Everts sends the ball back where it came from. And now the Dallas subs will come into the game. Monica O'Donnell and Caitlin Klein both re-enter. As we are 3/4 of the way through this game, still scoreless. It went the 90 minutes without a goal in Irving last season. Katie Ward finding the overtime winner. Ball settled by Wallace, forward for Walsh. Down the line for Sheridan. Last touch off Klein, who's back in the game now in the heart of the Dallas defense. Walsh looking to turn, find space for Beal. Ball lifted in the direction of Katie Ward. She's shielded off it by McIntyre. Wallace now sends this one in, and that one's claimed comfortably by Vez. Taylor Campbell will be the next change for Coach Harrison. She's ready to come in now. Fresh off her first collegiate goal on Friday. Hayes inside for Hendricks. Steps past one defender. Puts it back into the path of Emily Hayes, who's continued the run down the left. Last touch off the Trinity sophomore. Goal kick on the way. B. Hendricks replaced by Taylor Campbell, moving Everts into the middle. Olivia Gritza in for Avery Seaman on the Dallas side. Hayes wins the header from the goal kick. Walsh about to be replaced by Bowers. So on the dribble. Wants it back now from Campbell. Cuts inside the defender well. Can't connect with Beal. Campbell again fighting for it. Can't do anything with it as Wallace wins the header. And Meyer lays it wide for Zingelman. Closed down now by two white jerseys. And Zingelman's ball deflected out of bounds, and Bowers will replace Walsh, who's heading to the bench now for the first time. 70 straight minutes of action for the senior out of Tulsa. Bowers was on the score sheet in the SCAC final last year. Second goal in the 6th minute. Sorry, the third goal in the 44th minute. As I try and decipher my own notes. She came off the bench in that one as well. 20 minutes to impress, to find potentially the winning goal. This one looks like it may be decided by just one moment. One mistake or one excellent strike. It's Wallace struggling with the ball, holding up here. O'Donnell putting the pressure on. 4 in the attack for the Crusaders. Hayes volleys it down the line. Gritza onto it. Minkachi runs out of real estate. An all-Colorado midfield partnership of Beal and Everts right now. In the engine room, Bowers ahead of her. Deflects this one forward for Sheridan. Laid back to Hayes. Free kick coming for Trinity. As Rachel Rodriguez is set to come back in for the visitors. Trinity goes short and really don't work it well. As Meyer comes charging through there ahead of O'Donnell. Pinpoint ball down the line for Emily Hayes. Wants to get back onto her right foot. Able to do so to find Katie Ward. Ball in towards the back post. Campbell underneath it as Lynn Lee helps it on. Campbell too strong in the tackle, and it's laid in now for Beal, top of the box. Katie Ward towards the back post. And looked like it maybe was a pass intended for Sheridan. Overhit. Minkachi now replaced by Rodriguez. And Bosco will get a chance to run here with Katie Ward on the front line. She replaces Molly Sheridan. Couldn't follow up the Friday hat trick with an all-important goal today, at least not so far. Hayes wins it back. Bosco gets it back now for Trinity's number 9. Hayes, 2 defenders around her, now 3. Still able to keep it. Finds Everts. Moves ball back. Will invite Dallas to set their line a few yards up the field. Ward now dropping deep. Finds Meyer. Beal turns past one. Finds Bowers. Just not happening for Trinity once they try and advance it beyond the midfield. Good ball forward here for Bowers on the turn. Tracks down the first touch. Here's Hayes, still with fresh legs, not having played in the first half. I don't think she'll be able to get on the end of that one, though, as Beal overhits it. This, with the ball rolled wide for Lindley, who turns beyond Bosco. Dallas looking to work it down their left side, but Wallace comes across to put it into it. Wide here for Kopi, who's got the pace to keep it in play. Rodriguez on the turn. Here's Gritza. McIntyre down the line looking for Rodriguez, couldn't keep it. Trinity have it with Bowers. Hits it wide for Bosco to come all the way across. Just kept it in play. Now sends a searching ball in. One back by Bowers. Here's Everts. Everts might think about the shot from here. Instead, looking to connect with Hayes, who couldn't keep it. 14 minutes to go. If you're just tuning in, maybe not the scoreline you expected to see. Trinity being held up at home here by last year's SCAC finalists. Current Offensive Player of the Week, Claire Reed. Couldn't find a teammate with that one. She's coming off a 2-goal, 2-assist performance, a 9-0 win for the Crusaders against Mississippi University for women. That was their biggest team result since 2016. It's part of a 5-game winning streak that they bring into today's game. Starting conference with a couple of 2-0 wins over Austin College and Schreiner. Next up, they'll head to TLU and Southwestern next weekend before finishing with St. Thomas and Centenary at home the weekend after. For Trinity, this is their second to last game in conference play. Schreiner next weekend, followed up by a game against the Division I local University of Texas San Antonio. All of that in preparation for the SCAC Championships, which will be held at the University of Dallas, November 5th and 7th. Bowers brings it out of the sky, looks to fire the right-footed shot. Tracked down by Ward. Bowers able to shield it again. Meyer tracks down possession. Wallace, the ball to switch the play for Hayes. Ward now on the turn. Ward lays it wide for Campbell. Runners in the penalty area. It's dinked towards the back post. Over the back post and out for a goal kick. Schneider and McAllister into the game for the first time for Trinity, as Lay, Seaman, and Zapata all re-enter for the Crusaders.
McAllister, number 17, Abby Schneider.
Schneider on the score sheet with her second collegiate goal on Friday. McAllister with a goal and an assist this season as well. Immediately involved here. The sliding tackle, and Campbell now whips it in, looking for Ward. Can't keep it. And now Claire Reed will lead the counterattack, put in behind here for Zapata. Wallace has to get up to speed quickly. Able to send it down the line. Well-weighted ball for Abby Schneider, who's playing out on the left. We're really only seen her up front so far. 20 shots for Trinity, 7 on target. Forcing those 7 saves out of Caitlin Vess. Shot deflected on the way through. Corner coming for Trinity. 10.5 to play. Bosco will line it up. Katie Ward's checking short here. No one around. Breakdown in the set piece defending here as Katie Ward fires it towards the back post. And it's turned home. A well-worked set piece for Trinity as they take advantage, and Zingelman finds the goal to finally break the deadlock here. Katie Ward puts so much pace on this ball. All it needed was a touch. It looks like it may have come off the arm of Zingelman. It was down by her side. As Trinity finally find the goal they're looking for. Katie Ward with her 4th assist of the weekend. Hasn't been able to do the damage herself in front of goal, but might as well have with that type of cross. And we're in for an exciting final 10 minutes here as Dallas will have to come out and try and find an equalizing goal. This is the scoreline that split the two teams in regular season play last year. You get the feeling, though, there's probably another goal in this, whether it's Dallas getting back into it or Trinity taking advantage of numbers up the field. At the moment, it's looking like the latter as Campbell's down the right side. She's tracked down the ball. Dribbles at her defender and sends in the left-footed cross. Deflected on the way through. And out for a Trinity throw in front of the bench. Bench will be much happier now with the 1 on the scoreboard. Wallace fires the throw in for Bowers. Everts pokes it wide into no man's land, but it's Zingelman who gets a foot on it. Schneider looking to turn past Rodriguez. Those two still tangled up. Eventually Schneider sends it down the line. And Ward whistled for a foul. 2 goals and an assist now for Zingelman. The first goal coming from the penalty spot. It's her first goal from open play in Trinity colors. Since arriving from the University of North Texas, she's made up a very solid defense. Whether Meyer was out, as she was at the early part of the season, and Zingelman played central, as she's gotten used to now playing off the left. Meyer, Zingelman, and Wallace have been the 3 as of late. And they're 8 minutes away from another shutout victory. Schneider looking to help add to the 1-0 scoreline. It's wide for Bosco. 5 runners in the penalty area as Bosco lifts it in towards Katie Ward. Gets ahead to it. Got under it as it's claimed by Caitlin Vez, who won't get a 6th straight shutout victory. Now conceding 6 goals on the season, still obviously a very impressive number. And nothing she could do on the goal for the Tigers. Took 80 minutes to find the breakthrough, and it came from a corner. Breakdown of the set piece defending for the Crusaders, and Katie Ward had all kinds of time. Picking out Zingelman at the back post. Everts with the energy in midfield. Couldn't turn it into a chance as her pass overhit. 3 changes coming for the Crusaders, 1 for the Tigers. Zapata on the dribble. Bowers gets a foot on the ball, but possession still with the visitors. McIntyre on the charge. Pass 2, and now rolls it into the path of Claire Reed. Trying to take the shot on first time. It's behind for a goal kick, and the substitutes will now enter the game.
In for Dallas, number 3, Alyssa Minkowski.
So Wickham replaces Campbell.
Number 10, Elena Wickham.
Minkachi Rodriguez. And one other player for Dallas, still looking to see who that was coming off the bench. Clay Reed up to win the header in midfield. And handball against the first year from Harlingen, Texas. Overzealous there. Unlucky as it popped up and hit her hand. It was Kopi, the third substitute, back in the game on the left side for the visitors. McAllister now replaced by Cameron Beal for the final 5 minutes to see this one out.
In for Trinity, number 15, Cameron Beal.
As you see at the very top of your shot, some of the Trinity men's players warming up. Set to face off against the University of Dallas at 2 o'clock. As per usual, they'll probably be 15 minutes or so after scheduled kickoff time. They take their undefeated record into battle off a very impressive 7-0 victory of their own over Austin College. It was a great night to open Friends and Family Weekend across the 2 90 minutes. 16 goals, none conceded for Trinity against the Roos. Here's Bosco. Ball breaks for her in the penalty area. Shot blocked, and Vess able to pick it up. Everts up to win the header in midfield. Kopi now on the charge down the left. Beal matches her stride for stride. Wins it back, but now needs help as Kopi commits the foul. Lindley put under pressure here by Bosco and runs out of room. And Zingelman now withdrawn with 3.5 to go. She's got the winning goal, and Stafford's on in her place. 87 minutes of action for Ashlyn Zingelman. Second Trinity goal. As it stands, it's the game winner. Wonder if there's an injury issue or just looking for fresh legs as the regular on the back line, Zingelman's withdrawn. We've seen Stafford play there, although primarily out wide this season. Minkachi runs into Wickham. He's going to force Kopi go into midfield for Avery Seaman. Claire Reed can't connect with any runners ahead of her. And Finley will take every second available to wait and pick it up. Everts tries to go wide for Wickham, beaten to it by Kopi. Still Dallas looking to try and tie this game up. Yet to find a shot on target. They've had a lot of possession in these type of areas. There's a good line breaking pass here for Zapata. As Meyer stepping up from the back, forces it all the way back, and Wickham wins it. Bosco helps it on. It's in behind for Katie Ward. McIntyre goes back for Vez. Schneider does well just to win the free kick and allow the clock to continue to tick down. Minute 50 remaining. It's been one of the more competitive conference games of the season. Of course, they had the most competitive game, Trinity losing out to Southwestern a week ago. They've been up to the challenge today. They look to add the second goal through Beal. It's a scramble in the penalty area, not cleared, and now Katie Ward tries to force it in. Stafford again into the rumble, and Schneider rips it off the right foot and wide. That would have been an emphatic way to finish this one off after it was rough and tumble in the penalty area. Looking like a rugby scrum to try and get it over the line. 1 minute left for Dallas to try and find the equalizing goal.
1 minute.
One for Trinity to put the cherry on top. Katie Ward finds Wickham. Bosco in behind. She looks to put it across now for Bowers. Schneider at the back post. Cameron Beal rolls the shot wide. And Dallas need to go quickly. They've got a player down now, back up on her feet. Trinity win it back straight from the goal kick, and that should do it really, as Bosco is threatening at the Dallas end, far from where they need it. If they're going to find anything to force us to overtime. One last chance maybe for Kopi with 10 seconds to go. Wallace will see it over the line. Trinity see it over the line with a 1-0 result. The goal coming from Ashlyn Zingelman in the 80th minute, assisted by Katie Ward. Tigers pushed to their limits here by the Crusaders in a fantastic rematch of last year's SCAC championship game. Here's the goal. Zingelman getting the all-important touch at the back post. We'll try and track her down for a post-game interview in just a moment. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Sunday afternoon. Stick around for that interview. And, of course, for the men's game in just about 20 minutes. My name is Ryan Figure. It's been a pleasure. Catch you in just a moment. Ready? Ryan Figured here, joined pitch side by Trinity defender Ashlyn Zingelman. First of all, congratulations on the win and the goal.
Thank you.
What can you say about the University of Dallas? Obviously a huge task for you guys today. A loss last Sunday, bounce back on Friday, and then a tough game today.
Yeah, great opponent, great opponent. We really just wanted to step out today, and we know we were facing a good team and just respond from last weekend, and I feel like we really did. So.
And then keeping the clean sheet today alongside Bailey Meyer, obviously Joey behind you, Reese on the right. Talk about the defensive unit that you guys have formed this season.
We've really become a family together, just playing as one and becoming really close both on and off the field. So I was really proud of the other girls just keeping it locked back there.
And then obviously the goal, the big moment that decides this game. You know, what did you see as Katie Ward whips that one towards the back post?
I knew she was going to shoot it, so I figured I'd just put myself there in case she was a little bit wide, and ended up lucky with it that she was a little bit wide, and it just found the back of the net.
Awesome. Congratulations on the win. Thank you so much.